Ah, Wikipedia. That place all of our teachers from elementary school to university regarded as a hellscape of misinformation. But did you know there's some good information on Wikipedia, like curated citation-heavy sources of information? It's nothing you should quote in an academic paper, but usually there's no greater starting off point for a source of information than its Wikipedia page. Also, good morning, Mary, end of pizza miss, my shirt's in the mail, yada yada. When I was working as a researcher at university, which was a weird job to have, and I needed to start on a particular subject, Wikipedia pages made up half my open tabs. Because it's a good place to have a groundwork of knowledge to then know what keywords and topics to look up in academic writing. But there's an everyday use of Wikipedia that I personally value a little more highly than that. Every morning I get up, get a cup of coffee, look at the news between the cracks of my fingers, get annoyed ethos isn't the Wordle answer yet, and then I go to the front page of Wikipedia. And in this review, I'll try and convince you to do the same. And today we'll be covering the front page of Wikipedia for September 29th, 2022. And looking for the front page for that day, I mean, we already have a clear winner with today's featured article, which is not always a video game and not always this timely. In fact, it's usually some lesser known historical event, but Super Mario 64's Wikipedia page is objectively great. It has entire sections for glitches, speedruns, fan projects, and more. Moving over to the right, we have the In the News section, which usually brings important global tragedies to the front. On September 29th, it was mostly good news. NASA's double asteroid reflection test was just fantastic. The very idea of deflecting an asteroid still boggles my mind, and look at the happy faces of the people who worked on this project. They almost look as excited as Eliud Kipchoge did when he broke the record for the Berlin Marathon. On this day is great, usually pointing out important religious observations and also National Pancake Day. And for me, at least, this section helps me contextualize my understanding of major world events and crises in history. But last Wednesday, no mention of National Scissoring Day. The disrespect to the acclaimed continues. But did you know is the real main event here? I mean, who wouldn't want to know that Danny Kalunkany worked as a singing hotel busboy before becoming the main headline act for 28 years at the Kahala Hilton? Or that the curriculum for schools in Wales is that schools should be setting their own curriculum, which is the most Wales thing I've ever heard. Clearly, they are still recovering from watching Drew McIntyre not win the WWE Championship at Clash at the Castle, and yes, I am still bitter. But also, there's a lot of articles that just have interesting information on them. Like, pause this video and look up an article from the ones mentioned that you might have an interest in. It will kill a social media doom scroll dead and replace it with a knowledge scroll through Wikipedia, where you might learn, for instance, from the July 22nd date, that the CIA sent color TV sets to Japan to broadcast propaganda from the Liberal Democratic Party, and there's an entire Wikipedia page just for the CIA's efforts in Japan, and all of their confirmed activities in Japan, and it's a lot. But back to September 29th, the last section we're going to cover from that day is today's featured picture, which on that day was this beautiful painting by Alexander Gimsky. And I had no idea about the tragedy behind its theft or the slow process of recovery at such a tumultuous time in history, but understanding the stories behind paintings and pictures like these, it feels important to know. Some pictures and the stories behind them can be deeply meaningful, or they can just be simply striking, like how the Trimeresis pauperum, a venomous pit viper, was featured twice in the last few weeks. Now, you may be asking me, Jared, why spend precious time in the morning looking up mostly useless information like this? Well, firstly, I'd say Lumos Jared is fine, but secondly, yeah, Wikipedia is not perfect. The information one takes from Wikipedia, a secondary source at best and more likely a tertiary source, is run by people, and people make mistakes and have biases that you should be aware of. But as a general source of information, it's a great starting off point. Secondly, however, taking a few moments in the morning to bookmark articles I might be interested in reading later is a really good way to take a break from the social internet, which can be a bit much. John Green recently referred to TikTok as the hard drugs of the internet, which is very true, but that would make TikTok a calming cup of tea in the morning. And thirdly, that consistency in the morning is better than meditation for me personally. It affirms that I'm always learning something of value from the internet, other than the general consensus of Chris Pratt's Mario voice, which, to draw a line in the sand, not good. Jack Black, however, 5 stars, no notes. The front page of Wikipedia is great, and if you disagree, please refer your comments to this giant castle shaped like a big pirate ship. Thank you very much, and good night.